Konbawa sensei.
Hai, konbawa. So lesson we did Renshu for lesson 6 we did. So now I have to do the exercise for lesson 6. Great. And of course, lesson 7 I'll have to read the lesson. I'll explain, I'll read the lesson once.
Sensei.
Yeah. Yeah, someone wanted to say something? So lesson 7 I'll have to read it. Okay. Now lesson 6, I'll do the exercise. So all of you, please turn on your cameras and leave them on till the end of the class. Because they're at Hayakawa, they'll have to see you. So exercise for lesson 6. The first one, Shashin. Shashin is photograph. So
Sanmai arimasu.
Sanmai arimasu. Ga Sanmai arimasu. Now comes Terebi. Terebi ga
Yondai
Yondai arimasu.
arimasu.
Kagi ga
Koko
Goko
arimasu.
arimasu. Nihonjin no sensei ga.
Nin
No, you won't say Ninin, you say Futari. So for this alone, Hitori, Futari, then Sannin. After Futari, you'll have to say Sannin Yonin. Okay. So Hitori, Futari. Only for people. Hitori, Futari. Otherwise, you'll have to use the counters like, Ichinin, no, like that. No, sorry. Ichidai, Ichimai, Ikko, like that. But for people alone, Hitori, Futari. And it's very strange, not strange actually if you'll see it. You have this Hitori, then you have other things also. When we come to it, I'll tell you. Okay. They have this. Why is it? Probably it's, they feel that they should retain something of their past, something of that language too. That is always there, right? But then why we cannot say? So that is how it is. It's like, what could you say? There's numerals also, how they express it. That binary. You have Ichi and you have Hito also. That's the thing. Okay, I'll come to it and you will see. Okay. So here, so people you say Hitori, Futari. Hitori, Futari. After which Sannin. But any other thing you will say Ichi. You will use Ichi in some form, like Ikko. You can't say Ichiko, Ikko. Ippon. You'll say Ippon. Not you won't say Ichihon. So, but Ichimai, Ichidai. So, Futari. Just remember this, huh? Hitori, Futari, then Sannin. Okay, that is the first question. Now, the second question, translate the following sentences into Japanese. This, if you find it in any exercise or any Renshu, you should be happy. Understood? Because, it's like you know how to say things, but you haven't tried it in Japanese. That's all. You can say it in English, you can say it in Hindi, you can say it in Tamil, Telugu, all that. But how do you say it in Japanese? So you'll have to try doing that. That's okay. I hope you people have already done this. Now say, there is Miss Tanaka over there.
あそこに田中さんが、田中さんがいます。
Azuko ni Tanaka-san ga imasu. Mr. Suzuki is in this classroom. You have to use wa and say this using wa. How will you say?
田中さんが
No,
この、
Suzuki-san wa.
鈴木さんはこの教室にいます。
That's it. Suzuki-san wa kono kyoshitsu ni. Okay. Next. Televisions are in the library room and office room. Library room means toshoshitsu.
室
Office room is
事務室。
uh,
図書室で、事務室にテレビがあります。
now you say terebi ga, correct. But you should say toshoshitsu ni mo. Why ni is okay? Ni is there, but you'll have to say mo, no? So toshoshitsu ni mo, jimushitsu ni mo, you should say. Okay. So what you say? So you said terebi ga arimasu. But here you have to use wa. So terebi wa. Now you are making the terebi not a subject, you are making it a topic. Terebi wa toshoshitsu ni. But then you'll have to say mo also, no? So ni mo. Toshoshitsu ni mo. Jimushitsu ni mo arimasu. Okay. Earlier what you said? Jimushitsu, toshoshitsu ni mo. You said ni, but you'll have to add mo. You said toshoshitsu ni mo. Jimushitsu ni mo. Terebi ga arimasu. Okay. There you talked about TV as a subject. Here you are telling topic. Terebi wa toshoshitsu ni mo. Jimushitsu ni mo. Then there are Indian students in my school. Use ga.
私の学校にインド人が
Indojin no.
インド人の学生です。
Indojin
学生います。学生
Indojin no gakusei, you should say. You can't say Indojin gakusei.
イン
Indojin
ド
no
人の
gakusei.
います。
No, but I told it fully. Don't again say that.
私の
Watashi no gaku
学校にインド人の
Indojin no.
インド人のが
Why you are having a problem?
Gakusei. 学生
Indojin no gakusei.
学生います。
You will not use ga for the subject.
がいます。
がいます。
Indojin no gakusei imasu, you'll say. Gakusei ga imasu, you'll say.
がいます。
Say it once again.
私の学校にインド人の学生がいます。
That's okay. Now, Japanese teacher is in my school. You got to use wa. See wa and ga. How do you use?
日本語の先生は私の学校にいます。
That's it. Nihonjin no sensei wa watashi no gakko ni Nihonjin no sensei wa watashi no gakko ni. That's all. Now you got to ask how many. Okay. In Japanese, using the following words. Okay. You got two words, sensei, hitori. Hmm? How will you ask how many are there?
Nani.
Tell it in a sentence.
Sensei wa nani desu ka?
Sensei ga
Nani.
nanin
Nani desu
imasu ka?
imasu ka?
Sensei wa nanin.
Nani.
Sensei ga nanin imasu ka, because you are asking for the subject. Sensei ga nanin imasu ka. Okay. Now, next one. Only one.
Basu.
Okay.
Basu ga nani ni
Nanin, no?
nani ni
Bus.
arimasu. Arimasu.
Bus, you'll say nin or what?
Ni. Basu wa.
No, that.
Yodai.
What's that, sir?
No. What will you use as a counter for bus? You're saying nin.
Dai. Sorry, dai.
Then tell that.
Basuga,
Bus
Nandai,
ga-
Yongdai.
No. Question you got to ask. No question. How many?
Basu ga nandai
Arimaska.
arimasu ka?
Arimasu ka. Then you answer the question. Bus ga yondai arimasu. Okay. So sensei, the first one. Sensei ga
Sensei ga
Tori. Nanda
nani
imasu ka?
imasu ka?
Ah,
Basu wa nandai arimasu ka?
Bus ga yondai
Nanda.
arimasu. You answer you ask a question and answer the question. Okay, next one. Hankachi.
Hankachi nan
You
My-
won't use a counter. You have to use counter, no?
No, I'm asking question.
For what? No, sorry, not counter. Particle, you won't use particle. No?
Nankachi ga
Hankachi ga.
Nankachi ga nan mai arimasu ka?
Arimasu ka. What will you answer?
Nankachi
Hankachi.
Nankachi ga
Ni mai.
nidai
Ni
mai arimasu. I'm getting confused with this one.
No, what confusion? No confusion. Keep saying this again and again. Okay. So your confusion will go away. So sensei means nin, bus means dai, hankachi is my. Keep saying it again and again. Confusion should be there. How can everything be so clear? But keep saying it. You get out of all that confusion. Okay. But remember, you have the habit of dropping your particles. Please don't. Okay, that is more important. So don't drop particles. Otherwise, how will the sentence stand? No, the words will fall, collapse. What keeps one word together? No, the words together. How one word will connect to another. You use particles. Okay.
I wrote in the note sensei, but I forgot to read that word.
Okay. No, that's it. But see, it's more than writing, it's speaking, right? So say it also. Okay. Now the fourth question. It is, all of you answer, okay? Just one person seems to be answering. Who is this answering me?
Kavita.
Kavita-san. Okay. How about others? All of you answer. Okay. So, looking at the following pictures, not that Kavita-san shouldn't answer. All of you answer. So, looking at the following pictures, fill up the blanks with key adjectives.
Muskashi. E.
The first one, what is the
Omoi. Okay.
first one?
Muskashi.
Okay.
Wasai.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
okay. So what will the
It's a
next?
big
What is the other thing? And
Chisai.
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 Oki. How will you support
Omoi.
Oki? How will you write Oki? Kana.
O.
What kanas you'll use?
Oo.
O.
O.
Ki. E.
E. B.
O Ki E.
E.
This one, Chisai.
Chi. E.
Chi.
Chi.
Sa.
Sa. E.
Okay. Now the next one, the third one.
Omoi.
Omai.
Omoi. O Mo E.
Mo. E. Omoi.
What is the opposite?
Karui.
Karui. Like.
Karui.
Karui. Okay. The fifth one.
Nagai.
Nagai.
Gai. And then the sixth one.
Mijikai.
Jikai.
Mijikai. Mijikai.
Mijikai.
So lesson 6 is over. Now lesson 7, Renshu. Okay. See here, on Hatten, lesson 7. Kochira, Sochira, leave that. You already know that. The E adjective, see that E adjective. So E adjectives rather. New is Atarashi, old is Purui. These are antonyms. It's good to remember that way. You'll be able to remember it better. You know, if you remember the opposites. So Atarashi, Purui, old. Narrow is semi. I told you about narrow, no? Is semi. And wide is hiroi. Okay. But now suppose the road is narrow. Like in some places, you know, roads are narrow, right? Like in Bangalore and all that, the main road is so narrow. They write 8th main, first main, second main, but that will be a very narrow road. Okay. Then yesterday I was driving the 80 feet road. There is a 80 feet road. And it looked really narrow. So that is semi. Hiroi is wide. You know, road in Chennai and all, great many roads are wide. There also you have narrow roads, but you have wide roads. So there, wide is Hiroi. But when it comes to space, right? Your house is Hiroi means it's a spacious house. But if it is semi, then it is a bit very cramped. Okay. You can't call it a narrow house. You can't call it a wide house. Spacious, and remember that, okay? Because Japanese, you know, the thing is the words they use. Sometimes we have so many words in English. We have so many words in our language. Japanese, they have very few words. It covers everything. So they don't have a space. They don't have. They use the same narrow semi for this also. Semi and hiroi. Understand? You can't help it. Because the words they have are very less. But for some things they have more words than we have. For so many things they have more words than we have. Okay, but for so many things they have very few words. So like the semi and hiroi, to explain, sometimes when I say semi, hiroi, I make it a point to say this because later you should not, don't translate the thing like my house is narrow into English, understood? My house is, in English you have spacious, all that you have, but you don't have it in Japanese. So don't say narrow house and nothing. It's a big house. You say it's a big house, it's a small house. Okay. So be very careful. So when you're translating, because there are people who translate, right? And I used to, when you edit, I used to do that. They used to semi, they used to write narrow for everything. It's not okay. and especially when you translate it into English. So semi is narrow, hero is wide, but I told you what it is. Now good is E. Good E. And Yoi is also there. Yoi is the original form which can be conjugated. E cannot be conjugated. That's the only thing. And E Yoi. Okay. Yoi is good. E is also good. But what is bad? Varui. Varui is bad. And many is OE. You know that. But you don't know this. Sukunai is few. Sukunai. Few. Very less. No? So Sukunai. OE many. Sukunai. Few. Okay. Like that. Then you have na adjective there. You see Ben Rina. Convenient. What is that na? If a noun follows, it will have na. If a noun doesn't follow, na will be dropped. But generally, na adjectives are not shown like this. Probably in in textbooks like this for students, it is shown because you are just getting to know na adjectives and e adjectives. Now you have you may. You may is famous. Jose is skillful, I told you, right? Being good at something. If you're good at cooking, right? You're Jose in that. If you're good at singing, you're Jose in that. Understood? Whatever you're good at, you're Jose. Speaking, you're a good speaker, Jose. So Jose are skillful, okay? Then you see the kanjis. Why are these kanjis given here? If you go to Japan and you go to a department store or anywhere for that matter, you'll have these signs in kanji. So, Ue is up, Shita is down, Migi is right, Hidari is left. You'll not see Hidari, Migi and all written. You'll be seeing only the kanjis. So you'll have to. This will help you. And then Mae in front, Ushiro in back. No, Ushiro back. Mae in front, Ushiro behind. So back. So these kanjis will help you find your way. Understood? There in Japan. So remember this. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to write anything. Just see the kanji. These are like, you saw this. So these kanjis you'll have to remember. Okay. Now I'll do the Renshu and go to the lesson. Okay. Lesson 7. I'll finish reading of it. Okay. Renshu. You can answer all this. Dash Shiva Shimmundes. What? The first one. It starts a co-word. Ko, so, anu. It's a co-word.
Kochira.
Koreva.
Koreva Shimbundes. Shimbun is a newspaper. Koreva Shimbundes. Next. Dashua Toshoshitsudes. Blank.
Kokova.
Kokova Toshoshitsu des. Yeah. Next. Now we have to use polite. Dashiga Rajasan des.
Kochiraga.
Kochira.
Kochiraga. All of you answer. Kochiraga Rajasan des. Ashok Samba.
Achira desu.
Achira desu.
Achira desu.
Kochira ga Raja-san desu. Ashok-san wa Achira desu. Kochira ga Raja-san desu. Achira wa, sorry, Ashok-san wa Achira desu. Next, Jimushitsu wa polite.
Dochira.
Dochira desu.
Dochira desu ka?
Wa dochira desu ka. Next, the fifth one.
Dochira.
Sorry.
Sono.
Sonohon.
Sonohon wa
Dare no desu.
Dare no
desu ka. So that book, whose is it? Sonohon wa dare no desu ka. Dare means whose. Sonohon wa dare no desu ka. Next, the second question. So this is all, you have seen it in the previous lessons. So you are again seeing this. Okay. Next. Now, what you learned in lesson 7. Okay. Koko wa
Yume desu.
yume depato desu. So how do you say this?
Koko wa yume.
Yumo.
Koko wa
Yume na.
yume na depato desu. Koko wa yume na depato desu. So Renshu, you should also join. Exercise, if you join, it is good, but Renshu will have to join me.
Sensei,
Hmm?
while writing the answer, we have to write along with kanji and hiragana.
See, if you know the kanji, write the kanji.
Mm.
Oh, you mean yume, na?
Uh,
You write like, how you see in the text, no? So that at least you know the kanji for you. No, may, sorry, may, not you. You, when you know it, you write yume. Right now, you write you in hiragana and write may in kanji. And then you also write in brackets, you write it in hiragana too. You may. Write that in hiragana. It's for your practice, that's all. So, koko wa yume na depato desu. Are wa
Atarashi.
Gakko desu.
Yeah, gakko, both are, you see, the entire word is in kanji. So you start writing kanjis. Areva, atarashi gakko desu. Next. Raja Samba, Nihongo ga, ya, tell me now.
Joshina.
Na?
Hito desu.
Yosana hito desu means is a skillful person. But why should you use na? Because hito comes after that. Now, suppose you drop hito. If hito is not there, you can say Raja Samba Nihongo ga josu desu. Raja Samba Nihongo ga josu desu. Raja-san, is good at Japanese. Raja-san wa Nihongo ga josu na hito desu means Raja-san, Raja-san. He's a person who is good at Japanese. Here, Raja-san wa Nihongo ga josu desu means Raja-san is good at Japanese. Now, remember this. This sentence, you have wa, you have ga also. What is the topic here?
Raja-san.
And what is the subject?
Nihongo.
Japanese
Language.
Are they the same? Raja-san and Nihongo, they are same or different?
Different.
which is why the subject is seen. Remember, I told you, if the subject and the topic are the same, subject is normally not seen, it's dropped. So here, Raja-san is a topic and Nihongo is a subject. See, Raja-san is a topic. So many things can be said about him. Okay. Raja-san, you know, correct? Now, when I'm saying Raja-san topic, you know who's Raja-san, I know. I mean, when we talk about some topic, you know and I know. Understood? What the topic is. And then we talk so many things about the topic that we don't know. See, it can be Nihon, he is good at Japanese, yeah, he is good at cricket. Okay, he's good at football, right? All that I can say. But there are so many things you can say. But here, Raja-san is a topic. The subject can be anything. Understood? So here the subject is Japanese. So how will you see it? See, I'm going to speak about Raja-san. Okay. You know Raja-san? He is good at Japanese. He's a person who's good at Japanese. So one subject, that is Nihongo. So Nihongo gets Ga. Ga jozu na hito desu. Why you use jozu na? Because hito comes. If hito is not there, you can simply say jozu desu. You don't have to use na because na comes before a noun. Okay, next one. Fourth one. Nigatsu. Nigatsu is February. Wa
Mijikai.
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 Tsuki is used for month, it is used for moon also. It's moon actually, but it is used for month also. So, Nigatsu wa Mijikai Tsuki,
Yes.
which means February is a short month. Next, Kore wa Taihen means very. It's an adverb. Taihen, yeah.
Benrina. Benrina.
Benrina Jisho desu.
Jishu.
Why na comes? Because Jisho follows. But if Jisho is not there, Jisho is not there, then Benri desu. That's all. So Kore wa Taihen Benri desu means this is very convenient. But Kore wa Taihen Benri na Jisho desu means now we are talking about a dictionary. Bringing the dictionary in. So Kore wa Taihen Benri na Jisho desu. Next. The third question. You see the chart there? You see Gakko there? Then you see Ginko. Ginko is a bank. Then you see Supa, then someone's house. Then below that you see Koban. Koban is a police station, but police station there, Koban there is not like our police station. Okay. Depato. Department store. Then what you see there is post office. And then you have Eki. Eki is railway station. Okay. Now, sumimasen. Excuse me. Depato wa doko desu ka? Department store. Which place is it? Where is it? Koban no migi desu. It's on the right side of the Koban. Now, sumimasen, Yubin kyoku, post office, wa doko desu ka? Now, Eki is there, it's on the left. So, Eki no hidari desu. Now the second thing. Sumimasen. Sumimasen. Ginko wa doko desu ka? Depato no mae desu, in front of the department. See, department store is on this side of the road. Ginko is there on the other side of the road. So, Gakko wa, sorry, Ginko wa depato no mae desu, in front of the department store. Next. Sumimasen, Gakko wa doko desu ka? Ginko no hidari desu. On the left of the Ginko. Sumimasen. Sumimasen means, excuse me, Raja-san no ie. Raja-san no ie. Sumimasen, Raja-san no ie wa doko desu ka? Super no migi desu. So the right of the supermarket. So lesson 7. You have this exercise. You can do it. You have the weekend, right? You can do it on Monday. We'll review it. Okay. Review your answers. So lesson 7, I'll read the lesson. Tanaka-san to Suzuki-san. Tanaka-san and Suzuki-san. Suzuki. Sumimasen. Kochira ni Tanaka-san wa imasu ka? Is Tanaka-san here? Okay, it's okay. Ima jugyo chu desu. Now he's in the class. He's in the class. Suzuki. So desu ka? Who is that so? Toire wa dochira desu ka? Where is the toilet? Toire wa dochira desu ka? Uketsuke. O te arai wa achira desu. The washroom is over there. Achira desu. Suzuki. Ah, wakarimashita. Yeah, I get it. Arigato gozaimasu. Arigato gozaimasu. Tanaka. O genki desu ka? Suzuki. Hai, okage-sama de. Atarashi apato wa ikaga desu ka? How's the new apartment? How's your new apartment? Tanaka. Ii tokoro desu yo. It's a good place, you know. Kii ga oi tokoro de. Chikaku ni yumei na supa mo arimasu. It's a place with many trees, and nearby there's a famous supermarket too. Okay. There's a famous supermarket too. Suzuki. Benri na tokoro desu ne. It's a convenient place, isn't it? Tanaka. Demo, but urusai desu. It's noisy. Anohen ni wa, in that area, inu ya neko ga, dogs and cats. Takusan imasu. There are plenty of dogs and cats. Kuruma mo oi desu. Cars are also many there. There are many cars too. Suzuki-san no ouchi wa dou desu ka? Suzuki-san's house. How's it? That is your house. How's it? Suzuki. Uchi wa semai desu. It's a small house. Demo, but migi ga super de. On the right is a supermarket and Maega Ginko desu. And the front is the bank. Tanaka, Sureva, Benri desu ne. That is convenient, isn't it? Motome. Tanaka-san no atarashi apato wa ii tokoro desu. Demo, inu ya neko ga urusai desu. Tanaka-san's new apartment is it's a nice place. But dogs and cats are noisy there. Suzuki-san no ie wa totemo benri na tokoro ni arimasu. Suzuki-san's house is in a very convenient place. Okay. Suzuki-san's house is in a very convenient place. Totemo benri na tokoro ni arimasu. So that was lesson 7. So is there anything to ask me? And why I'm asking you this? I have a reason. What is the reason? I'll tell you. So anything you have to ask me up to lesson 7, any lesson. Are you all there?
Yes, Sensei.
Yes. But many of you have not turned on your cameras. You have to turn on your cameras and leave them on. Nobody does that. Why is it? See, the one thing about Japanese is following instructions. You have to follow instructions. You're working in Japan or in a Japanese company, you're supposed to follow instructions. Please do follow instructions. You're supposed to turn on your cameras and leave them on. So lesson 7. Up to lesson 7, is there anything you want to ask me? Anything?
Nothing.
No. Yes, no, I don't know what. I have not decided what. Nothing.
No, once again, we have to review and practice all. Then only we will know.
Okay. Okay. Why I asked this was, now you are stepping into the next stage. Understood? The language, you're learning goes to the next level. That's why I asked. From this lesson. This is where you start really using using Japanese. Understood? So important this lesson is. I mean, hereafter, all what you learned was great. Now this is when you start really learning, using the language, using Japanese. Okay. The language comes alive now. So which is why I asked you, is there anything that you have to ask me? Okay. So lesson 8. What is so important about lesson 8 and what is it that you learn? Lesson 8. It is So far you learn to say the thing, talk about things around you. What are there around you? And try to and you learn to describe them to a small extent. From this lesson, you will start, saying what you do, what people do around you. I hope all of you are there, because I can just because I don't see you. That's the thing. Many of you, some of you I see, but not many of you I don't see. I don't know if you're there. So many of you have not turned on the camera, you have not left it on, like we said. So I think you have just switched on the thing and left. Jayashree san, Surya Prakash san, Kaushik, you don't follow instruction. Now you switch on. When I call you, you switch on. Why don't you do that? I'll do one thing. I'll switch off the camera. You won't see me. How will you feel? Uma Shankar, if I call now, he'll switch on. Surya Prakash, he'll switch on now. What is this? Please follow instructions. Otherwise, you won't learn anything. Honestly, there's no point in being in the class. You won't learn anything. Ajayant, son, I don't know whether you are there at all. Devansh, no. See this. I am switching on your cameras.
Sensei.
Yeah?
My son is not feeling well.
Okay.
So,
Who's
so
this?
he is Soumya. He is having high fever.
Okay.
So he is with me until now.
Okay.
No, sorry.
I can understand, but no, I'm just saying, Allegation son, Surya son, all these people. So it's me who is switching on your cameras, telling you, okay, your camera on. Devansh son is now deciding to turn on the cameras. Ajayan son, I don't know if you're there. So please turn on your cameras, leave them on. Okay. So I want to see you there. But if you have some reason, fine, great. I'm not going to keep looking at you. I want to see you there. That's I want. No. Like suppose I switch off the camera, I turn off the camera, I can easily do that. And nobody is there to stop me. But that is not the way. Okay, now coming to this lesson. So Sundaram san, are you there? You are not. I think your camera is off. Okay. This is a very important lesson. Now, so far, that's what I was saying. I'll repeat. You learned to say what are there around, things around you, about yourself, things around you. Okay. Now you start speaking about what you do, what others do. Verbs come in here. And I used to always say, verbs are what make the language live. There is life in a language only if there are verbs. Otherwise, where? Nothing. Just talk, this is a house, but unless people live there and do something there, the house doesn't have any meaning. And you're there, if you don't do anything, what is there? There's no meaning in you also, or in me. So verbs come in here. So how do verbs, I said the language starts, it gets some life with verbs. The language starts living. Okay. Why do I say this? Because, verbs happen and things keep changing. And when things keep changing, then that is when things live. So I was talking of change. What is a change? You have tenses, which is what tenses are all about. Now see, you have things, verbs do happen. Verbs happen. They are about actions. Verbs happen. And they happen when? They happen now. They have happened. They will happen. So you have the past, you have the present, and the future. So things keep changing. So verbs change. And in Japanese too, verbs are very important. In fact, verbs are more important than anything else in Japanese. So please understand this. Japanese grammar is about verbs. Understood? Now, if you were to look for books, because when I first was, looking for books, right, on Japanese grammar, most of the books that I got were about verbs. They're about verbs only. And the other things are there. That's all. Nouns and other things are there. But everything is about verb. In Japanese, everything is about verb. In fact, they see adjectives also as verbs. Understood? So verbs are so important in Japanese. And this is what I'll be speaking about. And you can do one thing. At 7:25, I'll give you a break. You can take a break. So we come back because I don't want to stop anywhere in between. Okay. I got about 3 minutes. Anyway, so verbs in Japanese, there are rules. What are those rules? Rules of conjugation. You have conjugations. That is, you have to change the forms of the verbs. Verbs change, so the forms change. So you have to change the forms of the verbs. Takes different forms. And you do that by conjugating them. That's what is conjugation, changing forms. And there are rules of conjugation. Now comes rules. So verbs have conjugations, adjectives have conjugations. Adjectives, they also change. So you have conjugation. Because, when you're describing a condition, the condition can be in the past, it can be in the present, it can be in the future too, right? Like you're talking about a book, this book is new, was new, will, there will be new books. So you have tenses there also. So you need to conjugate. So rules of conjugation are there. So this is what we'll be saying. And another thing, before you go for this break, I'll tell you something more. You have only two tenses in Japanese. In all the languages we have seen three tenses: past, present, future. In Japanese, you have only two tenses. One is non-past, one is past, the other is non-past. Past, it is over. Non-past, what we call, present and future, they come under non-past. It is like this: what is past and what is non-past. So you have two tenses. So I'll leave you with this. So another 5 minutes. So it is 7:25, 7:30 we'll start.
Adjectives have the same conjugation rules as the state of being. However, when you want to modify a noun in the positive present tense, you have to add na to the adjective. A few examples of na adjectives are shizuka na, which means quiet, and odayaka na, which means calm. For example, if you want to say a quiet room, we would say shizuka na heya, or you can say heya wa shizuka da, which means the room is quiet. Please note that na adjectives can end in i, just like I adjectives, even though this is not common, as in kirai, which means hateable. Please follow for more Japanese tips. Bye.
Yeah. So I'll start. Hope you're all back. Yeah. Yeah, this is lesson 8. And we are now seeing verbs. Now, verbs are classified as 2. Why do we have to classify verbs? Why are verbs classified as 2? So it's almost like saying there are 2 kinds of verbs. It's not 2 kinds of verbs. They are classified as 2 because the rules of conjugation are different. Grammar is about rules, right? Any grammar is about rules. So when you conjugate verbs, the rules that you apply are different for, these 2 kinds of verbs or 2 groups of verbs. Let us call them group, not kinds. So in even in your book, textbook and all that, you have them classified as group 1 verbs, group 2 verbs. Okay. But the thing is, when you have group 1, group 2, it really doesn't tell you much. But most of the books have it as group 1, group 2. So you really don't really get to know what they really are. But Japanese books of grammar, they have terms like godan and ichidan. So one, a group of verbs I told you there are two groups, right? Two classifications. So the group that is which they term as group 1, Japanese books, I mean of grammar, they call them Godan verbs. And the group 2 verbs, they're called Ichidan verbs. Now, this go is 5. Ichi, ni, san, shi, go. Go is 5. Now this dan is step. Dan itself is step. So Godan is 5 steps. Okay. What is the other one? Ichidan. Ichi is 1. Dan is step. So 1 step. So group 1 verbs are Godan verbs. Okay. Now why are they called Godan? I'll tell you. But before that, how will you, like I told you, E adjectives, how do you identify an E adjective? Now you see, you hear people use adjectives. You see an adjective, and then how do you know what kind of adjective? E or na adjective, I told you. How to identify. Now, how do you identify a group 1 verb? Remember one thing. There are many forms, I told you. Verbs take many forms. One form is a dictionary form. One form is called the dictionary form. You also hear Jisho form being used for this. These verbs. The verb form, this verb form, they call it Jisho form. Jisho is dictionary. So dictionary form. Now, what is a dictionary form? These words are in these forms, in this form. Verbs, all the verbs in Japanese are in a form called the dictionary form. Where? In a dictionary. Now, if you have to see a dictionary, if you have to refer a dictionary, definitely, you have to know the meaning of a verb, and you don't know the meaning, you have to refer a dictionary. So in the dictionary, this is the form that is used. So if you don't know this form, you will not be able to refer a dictionary. Honestly, you will not be able to see a dictionary or locate this word in a dictionary. So to know this form, this form is the dictionary form. And anything, anywhere, any listing of verbs will have this form. Verbs will be only in this form in any kind of list. In a dictionary, you see them in this form. So I'll speak more about this after I finish telling you what these Godan verbs are. So I told you dictionary form. So verbs, group 1 verbs, in the dictionary form, they all end in this kana. U. They end in U. So if you see a verbs ending in U, they are group 1 verbs. That is, it should be in the dictionary form. In the dictionary form, they'll end in U. That is, if you look at, you see a dictionary, and you see a dictionary, and you look at a verb, you see a verb, and it ends in U, then you are sure that it is group 1 verb. So all group 1 verbs end in U sound when they are in the dictionary form. Okay. That is how you locate, you identify a group 1 verb. Okay. Now, why are they called Godan verbs? They call that because all the 5 vowels are involved in their conjugation. So when you conjugate these verbs, that is when you change forms, verbs change forms, all the 5 vowels. What are the 5 vowels? A, E, U, A, O. Okay. Now, take your hiragana chart. It's on page 2. Page 2. I told you all the 5 vowels are involved. I'll tell how. I'll tell you how. The first thing you see A, then E, U, A, O. 5 vowel lines. 5 vowel lines. Under A you have A sounds. Ka, Sa, Ta, Na, Ha, Ma, Ya, Ra, Va. Next. Under E line, you have Ki, She, Chi, Ni, He, Mi, Ri. Under U, you have K, S, Ch, N, F, M, U, Ru. All that you have Gu, Su, all that. I'm not reading that. A, under A, you have K, Se, Te, Ne, He, Me, Re. All these are A sounds. O sounds, under O it is Ko, So, To, No, Ho, Mo, Yo, Ro, O. And of course, Go, So, all that is there. So you have these 5 vowel lines. And you have the A sounds, E sounds, U sounds, A sounds and O sounds. Okay. Now what you do is, U line, no? U line above that, use your only pencils, write dictionary form. Above the U line, write dictionary form. You can write it like this so that it doesn't run into the other line. You can write it like this. This one, you can write it like this. Yeah, dictionary.
Sensei, the woo, all the woo sounds which is in the dictionary form.
Yeah.
Okay, Sensei.
So above the U line, write dictionary form. You write it like this. Okay, please let it not run into the other thing. So you write dictionary, D-I. You can write.
Okay, Sensei.
Okay, that's why I tell you not to write it like this. Write it like this. Now, under above R line, write negative form. Above R. Negative. And above E line, write mass form. You know what is mass form? Me, ma, and su. Don't write M-A-S-U. Right? Ma and su. I told you, no, des and mass. I told you in the very first class, you got to use des and mass to end your sentences. So if the verbs end in, the sentences end in verbs, that verb will be in mass form. That's all. Okay. If your sentences end in verbs, the verbs will have to be in mass form. If the sentences don't end in verbs, then you'll have to use the verb des. That's all. If they don't end in verbs, then what you do? you have to use this. That's why you say no, Vatashiva. I say Vatashiva, Ramesh this. I have to end it in this. This is a verb. But other verbs, you'll have to end it in mas. That's it. So write mas form. Ma-s. Don't write M-A-S-U, please. Ma-s. Form. Mas form. And A, you write potential form. Now, potential form, that's how it is given. I have given it my own term. Okay. This is, you will not find it in books. This is my own term. Can do form. Please write that. What is the meaning of potential? I can do. I can speak, I speak, I can speak. So potential. And the next thing, O line, right? Volitional form. Volition, V-O-L-I-T-I-O-N. Volitional form. And volitional form also I have given it a different term. This you won't find in any book. This is my own term. It is let's do form. Let me do, let's do. Let me do, let's do. So I told you speak, right? Can speak. Here, let me speak. Let's speak. So O is volitional form. That's volition. Volition means will, no? So, let me speak. Let's speak. Let me speak. I'm not, I've given the verb speak. Let me eat. Let me see. So I've given you, these are not the only forms. There are so many other forms. Understood? But if the verbs are Godan verbs, if the verbs are Godan, please listen to me very carefully. Very carefully, you got to be there. Godan verbs, that is the group 1 verbs. How do you identify? These verbs in the dictionary form, they take a form called the dictionary form. In their dictionary form, you will see them end in all these U sounds. U, ku, su, tsu, nu, all these sounds it will end in. Okay? They end in the U sounds. In the dictionary form. That is, if you see a dictionary and you see verbs ending in U sounds, they are all dictionary. Sorry, they are group 1 verbs. Okay. Now I am not asking you, have you understood? Because you will understand. If I show you this. Let us now start conjugating. Now, why do you call them Godan verbs? It's like this. What is this form I was speaking about? Ending in U?
Dictionary form.
Dictionary form. Okay, now suppose I have to turn it to the mass form. I have to do something. I have to drop. I have to change, shift from U to E line. If I have to change to negative form, I have to move to the R line. So all the 5 vowels lines are involved. So that's why 5 go 5 step. 5 step. All the 5 vowels are involved. That's why they call Godan verbs. Okay. And group 1. Now let us see. You will understand this better. I don't have to ask you whether you have understood and all that. Now let us see. What is the meaning of conjugation? What did I say was conjugation? Conjugation. What does it mean? Conjugation? I just told you.
Changing to
Changing dictionary form to
Forms.
another.
Oh, yeah. Changing forms. Not just dictionary form. Changing forms. You can keep changing from one form to another. Why do you have to change forms? Now, there's another reason. No, you'll ask me why you change forms. Because you have to use verbs like that. To use verbs, you have to change forms. That's it. Now come. I will go on to conjugation. Once I tell you the conjugation, right? How to conjugate, then you will So now dictionary form, okay, to mass form I'm going to change. We'll all change verbs from their dictionary form to mass form. Okay. This is only group 1 verbs, okay. Group 2 we'll see later. What do you do? First, please write this. How do you conjugate these verbs from dictionary form to mass form? 1. Drop final kana. Okay. Drop final kana. Next. Go to the E line. I told you, no, hiragana chart. Go to the E line of the hiragana chart. And choose the corresponding E sound. That's important. Why I mean corresponding is, if the dictionary form, the verb ends in k, the corresponding E sound is ki. If the sound, the verb ends in m, the corresponding E sound is mi. Okay. So go to the E line of the hiragana chart and choose the corresponding E sound and add that. Replace it. So because you have dropped the final kana, you drop the final kana and there replace that what you dropped with the corresponding E sound. So go to the E line of the hiragana chart and choose the corresponding E sound and add. After which you add mass. After which you add mass. If you do that, you would have changed the verb from its dictionary form to its mass form. So please write this and remember this. How do you conjugate these verbs from dictionary form to mass form? We are only saying one form now. Okay. Or rather 2 forms. We are seeing the dictionary form and then we are conjugating it to the mass form in this lesson. So you got 20 lessons. Okay, you'll see more conjugations. In every lesson, you will see some conjugation or other. And not only that, this will go on even in the next level. Next level, you will see so many other forms. So that goes on. So this lesson, you will see 2 forms, dictionary form and mass form. Okay. So drop the final kana. First thing, go to the E line of the hiragana chart, choose the corresponding E sound and add that, and then after which you add mass. Now look. I'll give you this word. You're starting verbs now. Very important. You're starting verbs. Okay. You've learned so much. Now you're going to learn something more. And not like what you've learned so far. So please be with me always. Kaku. Which is why I tell you, no, so turn on your cameras and leave them on. Kaku. So I know you're there. Kaku, what is the meaning? Every verb has got a meaning, right? Kaku is to write. This is in dictionary form. So if you have to know the meaning of this verb, you can refer a dictionary and you will see. This is how you will see verbs in the dictionary in this form. See that it ends in u sound. Kaku. What is the sound? K. So this is group 1 verb. Dictionary form, it ends in u sound. What is the sound? So kaku means to write. What is the meaning? To write. Now what you do is, you have to change step by step. No, step after step we'll do. What you got to do is, drop the final kana. The final kana is k. Drop it. You're left with ka. Then what did I say? Go to the E line and choose the corresponding E sound. For k, the corresponding E sound is ki. Add that. Now you get kaki.
Mas.
After which, what do? Add mas. So you get kakimas. What is the dictionary form? Kaku.
Kaku.
What is the mas form?
Kakimas.
Kakimas. So kaku is to write. Kakimas also is to write only. The form is different. Okay. Form is different. Okay. Next, yomu. How does it end? What is the final kana?
Oh.
U.
U.
And u sound. So, group 1 verb. What do?
Drop last kana.
Drop final kana. What is the final kana? Mu.
Mu.
And you're left with what? You.
Me.
Yo. Yo. And
Me.
me is a corresponding e sound step by step. Okay, step after step. Don't jump. Yo, add me.
Me.
And then add mas. So you get yo, me, mas. What is the
Mm.
dictionary form?
Yomu.
Yomu.
What is the
Mm.
mas form?
Yomimas.
Yomimas.
Okay, next. Matsu. It means to wait. Matsu. It means wait.
Wait.
Now we will have to change the matsu to its mas form. So tsu, drop.
Drop.
You're left with ma. And what is the corresponding e sound for tsu? Chi.
Chi.
Add chi. So you're left got machi. After which, what do? Add.
Mas.
Mas.
Now, what is the dictionary form?
Matsu.
Matsu.
What does it mean?
To wait.
To wait.
Wait. What is the mas form?
Machimas.
Machimas.
Chimas. Okay. Now, next, another verb I'm giving you. Skuru. How does it end?
Ru.
U.
What does it mean? To make.
To make.
Now, what do? Drop ru.
Drop final.
Drop
Ru.
ru. Final kana. And what are you left with? Suku.
Sku.
Suku. And then what do you add?
Ri.
Ri.
Re.
Because the corresponding e sound is re.
Re.
And then what do you do after that?
Sukurimas.
Kururimas.
Skurimas.
Kurimas.
Kurimas.
So what is the dictionary form?
Sukuru.
Skuru.
What is the mass form?
Skurimas.
Sukurimas.
And what does it mean?
Skurimas.
To make.
Skurimas.
To make.
Next, I'll give you another verb. Kau.
Kau kaimas.
Kau is to buy. What do? Drop u. You're left with ka.
Ka.
And for u, the corresponding there in that line,
E.
e is the
Corresponding.
yeah, corresponding e sound. Add that and then what do?
Mas.
Add
Kaimas.
mas. So it is
Mas.
kaimas.
Kaimas.
So what is the
Kaimas.
dictionary form?
Kau.
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 What is
Kau.
the mass form?
Kaimas.
Kaimas.
Kaimas. And what does it mean?
Kalimas.
Bye.
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 To buy. Always use to, okay? That infinitive to has to be used. When you say a verb, don't say buy. To buy.
To buy.
Okay, what is tobu?
To fly.
Fly.
To fly.
Obu.
Tobu.
Tobu.
Buy.
Oh,
Bu. Drop bu. You're left with to. What is the corresponding e sound for bu?
B. B.
B.
B. And then add mas.
Add mas.
You get tobi mas.
Tobimas.
Obi.
Form. What is the dictionary form?
Tobu.
Tobu.
What is the mass?
Tobimas.
Tobimas.
Mass. So tobu, tobimas.
To fly.
Tobimas. And the meaning is to fly. And yesterday, remember I told you, when we did the counters, I was telling you about the counter for birds. I said va is for birds, and I told you about rabbit.
Mm.
Right. Usugi.
Yes,
Rabbit,
sir.
yeah. But you know something? There's another thing here. Japanese, I told you, just told you sometime back. For many things, many things, they have very limited number of words. You don't have, you have one word meaning 2 or 3 things. Okay. You have very limited words. So one word is this, tobu. Tobu can mean jump also, can mean fly also, can mean leap also. Okay. Flying. Tobu, tobimas. So I told you about the rabbit flying, leaping, jumping. You don't see a rabbit walk, right? Like other animals. So I was telling you about that. I told you a story also. And it's not a story, it really happened. Anyway, or they say it happened. I don't know because I was not there. This is what we read. I've read and I just passed on the thing to you, that's all. But anyway, you see the tobu, it can mean fly, it can mean
Jump.
jump, leap, and all that. Okay. They have got very few words. There are so many words, it's just not one word. They have got so many words where they have different meanings. The same word will have different meanings. So limited words. So I just remembered this when I told this. So tobu means to fly. You can take it as fly first. Then oyogu is
Sensei.
to swim. Oyogu to swim.
Sensei.
Yeah, tell me.
Sensei, I have a doubt. So I can understand little, but how we have to choose the sounds, the letter here, kana letters. U, and you are adding key
I'll
for
tell you.
food.
See, here you take the hiragana chart, no?
Yes, Sensei.
The hiragana chart. How you choose it is for ku. What you see ku there? What is the e sound there? For ku in the ka line.
Key.
For su it is she. For tsu it is chi. For nu it is ni.
Ni.
For hu it is he. For mu it is me. For ru it is ri. For gu it is gi. Okay. Zu it is G, Bu it is B, Pu it is P, like that.
Okay.
That's how you choose.
Okay.
The corresponding in that line what? 5 think ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. So that line, 5 vowel lines. That's how you choose. So bu here, okay, now see, tobu. Tobu, what is the E sound?
B.
B. Corresponding E sound. Corresponding, that's why you use the word corresponding there. So for bu, it cannot be me. It can only be B. That's it. So bu, B. So tobimas. Oyogu. Gu. Okay, now tell me. Gu. Drop gu. What is the corresponding E sound? This one. Gi. For gu, it is gi, no? Add that gi and then add mas. That's all.
Oyogi.
Yogimas.
Oyogimas.
Oyogu. Dictionary form. Oyogimas. Mas form. Hanasu. Okay, now tell me. Now you ask me, no? Tell me. What is the hanasu? No, you can take a look. You can have a look at the chart and tell me. Hanasu. What do? Hanasu means to speak. Hanasu means to speak.
Shimasu.
Hanashi thus.
No, don't jump. Tell me what you do step by step.
Drop
Drop
the
the
final
su.
kana.
What is the final kana?
Su.
Su.
Drop it. What you left with?
Hana.
Kana.
Kana. Then what do you do? For
Mas
su, what is the
Form the
corresponding e sound?
corresponding.
She.
Susan.
You,
She.
She.
you asked me, no? Somebody asked me, no? You just tell me what is the e sound for su. Corresponding e sound.
She song.
Add she, and then what do you do?
Hanashimas. Mas.
Hanashi.
Mas.
Hana.
Add mass. Don't see. That's it. The whole problem is, right now, you want. If you don't do that, the problem is you might forget. That's why I'm saying. So hanasu, drop su, add she, and then add mas. So hanashi mas. Don't simply straight away say hanashi mas. Step after step. So hanasu, hanashi mas. So hanasu, drop su. You just have
And
hana,
the corresponding.
add she,
She.
after that add mas.
Hanashi.
Mas.
Hanashi masu.
Okay, now let us see this again. Kaku, to write,
Right.
drop ku,
Hmm.
add ki, and then add mas. So kaki mas, it becomes kaki mas. Yomu, drop mu,
Ramu.
yo,
Add me.
Yo.
add me, because that is the corresponding e sound. Add mas,
Mas.
yomi mas.
Yomi mas.
Yomi mas, read, to read. Matsu,
Matsu.
machi, because for tsu it is chi. Machi, ta, chi, tsu, no? Ta, chi, tsu, te, to. So, drop tsu, add chi, so machi, and then add mas. Skuru,
Sukuru.
Drop.
Yuri
Drop.
mas.
And
sorry, skuri, mas.
Okay. Sukuru.
Kau, drop u.
No.
There in that line, you see, e is the corresponding e sound. Add that and then add mas. So, kai mas, kau, kai mas. Tobu, tobu, drop bu, you're left with to, add b, and then add mas. So,
Mas.
tobi mas.
Tobi mas.
Oyogu,
Drop
Drop.
to
Add
G.
oyogi, oyogi,
Add
Mas.
mas.
hanasu,
Oyogi.
su, hana, then add she, hanashi, and then add hanashi mas.
Hanashi.
Okay, now see this. Kaku kakimas, yomu yomimas, matsu machimas, skuru skurimas.
Kurimas.
Okay, so kaku kakimas, yomu yomimas, matsu machimas, skuru skurimas,
Kurimas.
kau kaimas, tobu tobimas, oyogu oyogimas, hanasu
Anashim.
Hanashi mas.
mas. Okay, so this is how you get your mass stem. No, sorry, mass form.
Mas.
Now, this is what you have to know about the first group verb, group 1 verb, that is Godan verbs. Now, group 2. How do you know it's a group 2 verbs? No, anything is a group 2 verb. You see a dictionary, and which is the group 2, whether you have to know whether it's a group 2 verb. Or if you hear the verb, hear somebody speak and you hear verbs, how do you know? It's a group 2 verb.
Should not end with O.
1 second. They're Ichitan verbs, okay? Just one step. While conjugating, you don't have to do much. You don't have to shift from one line to another and all that. Okay. Now, how do you know? See, here the verb, they end in eru sound. Iru. You will tell me, this is ru, no? This also is ru. It ends in u sound. It's not that. Iru,
Yes.
eru. Please write this down. Godan verbs end in iru, eru.
Ichidam.
Oh, sorry, Ichidan verbs end in iru, eru. Okay, now if you have any more doubt, you should have a doubt. What is this verb? Skuru. This ends in ru, but does it end in iru? You say skuru. Do you hear iru or eru there?
No.
No.
It is
Uru.
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 It's Uru.
So if you hear verbs end in iru, eru, they are group 2 verbs. Okay? Iru, eru, group 2 verbs. And to conjugate them, what do you do? Nothing. Simply drop ru. Simply drop ru. And add endings relevant to the whatever, relevant to the forms, no? You add endings relevant to the forms they change to. So to conjugate them, you just drop the final kana, final ru. And okay, the
Add
end
relevant.
is eru. You just drop the final ru and add the endings relevant to the forms they are changed to. And remember one thing, these, for this reason, they're also called the ru dropping verbs. They drop the ru. This group, right? Group 2 verbs, they call the ru dropping verbs for any kind of conjugation. Conjugation into any form, you simply drop ru and add the endings. Okay, miru is a verb. Miru means to see. Miru, to see. Miru, to see. How does it end? How do you
Iru.
Miru is iru. Okay, that's kuru is uru. Here miru is iru. Miru. Miru means to see. Now what do you do? How do you change?
Drop
Drop
ru.
ru.
So you're left with me and add
Me.
mas. Mimas.
Mimas.
Okay.
Miru, drop ru, add mas. Mimas. Mimas means to see. Taberu. How does it end?
Yeru.
Eru.
Ed.
Taberu means to eat. Drop ru. Add
Tabemas.
mas. Tabemas. Taberu, tabemas.
Taberu.
Simply drop ru and add. This is for any form. There are so many forms. This is what you do. Drop ru and add whatever be the ending. Here, mas is the ending, right? In other forms, you have other endings. So add that. That's all. Drop ru and add. What I'll do is, I'll go back. I don't know if you have, people have written this. Please do write it and tell me. Okay, you have to tell me. I can't keep waiting. Have you written this?
Yes,
Yeah.
sensei.
Yes, sensei.
You have written.
Yes, sensei.
Yeah. You have written this. Have you written these verbs? Kaku to
Yes.
write.
Yes.
Yomu to read.
Yes, sensei.
Yes, sensei.
Matsu to wait.
Yes, sensei.
Yes, sensei.
Skuru to make.
Yes, sensei.
Skuru. Suku. Skuri.
Goodbye.
Kau to buy. You want, please write. Kau to buy. Group 2 Ichidan verbs, they end in iru, eru sounds. Sounds, that's why I say sounds, okay? I don't say iru, eru. I say iru, eru sounds. There it was oo sounds. Oo sounds. Iru, eru sounds. Okay? To conjugate them, you drop the final comma, ru, and add the ending, relevant endings. Whatever be the ending. Here, mass is the ending because mass form. Add mass. Miru, to see. Me mass. Taberu, tabemas. Now, group 3 verbs. No rules like this. They are irregular verbs. Please write group 3 irregular. Because they don't have any rules and all that. Like, drop this, do that and all that. There are no rules. Then what do you do? You have to remember. Yeah. So mass, if you have a group 3 verb, you'll have to remember the verb and then it's different forms. Okay. How many you people are all, you people all have good memory? Not like me. I don't have a very poor memory. How about you people? Remember things? Yes or no?
Sometimes.
So group 3, you will have to remember things. Now you wonder why you joined this course, right? You have to remember all the verbs and their forms. So many forms I told you. So what do you say? I have to know from you. What do you people say?
So I feel once we start using it, it will come more naturally. Once we start using these verbs in
Once you start
sentences,
using, you will remember. Okay.
yeah.
Don't worry, there are only 2 verbs. Only 2 verbs which are irregular, but very, very important verbs. Because you use them as auxiliaries for other verbs. Very important verbs. But only 2. What are they? Kuru, to come. Kuru means to come. And what is the form you'll have to remember? Kuru kimas. Please remember, kuru kimas. Kuru kimas. Then you have suru. Suru, to do. Suru shimas. Suru is, like your, they use it with anything. You use it with any noun. Suru. You know what? You get a verb. So it's very important, these verbs. Suru. Kuru. Kuru is to do. I have given this in dictionary form. Okay. Kuru. And kimas is the mass form. Suru is to do. Kuru is to come. Kuru kimas. Suru is to do. Suru shimas. Very important verbs, both of them. Kuru kimas, suru shimas. Okay. And every other form you'll have to remember. Kuru, negative form you should remember. Kuru, potential form you have to remember. All that you will see. Okay. Now, I've told you how to conjugate. Now, why conjugate? That's also there, right? So, dictionary form and mass form. When you use the verb in dictionary form, what does it mean? What is the tense? let us see tense. What is the tense in the dictionary form? And what is the tense when it is in the mass form? Please write this down. Dictionary form, non-past. Please write. And mass form, what is it? Non-past. Mass form is also non-past. But what is it? How is it different? Dictionary form is also called the plain form, informal form. I told you, no, you've got plain Japanese and polite Japanese. You can speak the language plain and you can speak it polite also. So if your sentences end in plain form, you're speaking plain with the dictionary form of the verb. If the sentences end in dictionary form of verb, you're speaking plain Japanese, which you normally shouldn't. I mean, we shouldn't. Unless you speak, to your friends or some very close friends. Then you can use plain Japanese. But you won't get to do that. So it's a plain form. Mass form, again the tense is non-past, but it is polite form. I told you, you have to end your sentences using the mass form. You can't say watashi wa taberu. Watashi wa taberu means I eat or I will eat. You should say watashi wa tabemasu. I eat, I will eat. Whatever you eat. Watashi wa okashi o tabemasu means I will eat sweet or sweets. But you use a mass form. So polite. So I think things are clear now. Huh?
Yes, sir.
You know now what is the first group verb, group 1 verb, the group 2 verbs, and then the group 3 verbs, the irregular verbs, what are they? And now you know why they are called a Godan verb. What is so special about the first group verb? How is it different from the second group verb? How they end. And then when you conjugate them, we are very fortunate, right? We are blessed to have a lot of these power cuts, understood, in Bangalore. I don't know how you people, we are very fortunate people. But somehow I got everything, UPS for so many things, not for the lights. So at least now I don't have problem with the classes. So that is, yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, a mass form, you have dictionary form and you saw mass form, how you change from dictionary form to mass form. You know that. And the next thing is the group 2 verbs. Very easy to conjugate. Simply you drop ru and add whatever. Here the ending is mass. There are so many other ending, forms, and that relevant ending you'll have to add. So you now know to conjugate verbs. You know now at least one form, and you know how to identify those verbs. So verbs are so important. The third group verb you'll have to remember, that's all. 2 verbs, but they're very important verbs. Kuru and suru, you use it with so many, it's like an auxiliary for other verbs, with other verbs. We'll see that. And now we come to some suffixes. There is a suffix ya. This is not that particle ya, okay? This is a suffix ya. If you add this ya to any noun, anything, add ya. Hon, no? Hon means a book. Add ya to it, it means the place where you buy books. I mean, where books are sold. It's a bookshop. So Hon ya is a bookshop. Kutse shoes. So what will the shoe shop go? Shoe store, shoe shop. How do you say
Kutsuya.
that in Japanese?
Kutsuya.
Yeah.
Kutsuya. That's where you go. Okay. Kaban is a bag. You know that. Where will you go to buy a bag?
Kavanya.
Kanya.
Kabanya. So much shopping is enough for today. Okay. Kabanya. Now we go to the next thing. Particle day. There's a particle day. You saw particles, right? You know what are the particles you know so far?
Va.
Va,
Na.
No.
va,
Va.
no,
No.
He. He.
Te.
He.
no.
Ni.
Or ni,
Ga.
va.
Ga.
Ga.
Oh, you forgot ka, ka,
Ka.
Yes,
Ka.
ka. Then ni, no,
Ni.
Ni.
ni. Now we'll see they. Okay. Particle day. What is particle day? Particle day marks the location. You say, you think, I told you ni also marks the location. Yeah, it marks the location. There, ni marks the location where something is. Here, marks the location where something is done. Something is done. Okay, now let us see. Hoya is a bookshop. You just saw it. Hoya. Ni, because there is a location. Hoya ni honga arimasu. What is the meaning of that? Hoya ni honga arimasu. What do I mean?
There are books in the bookshop. Huh?
There are books in the bookshop. Correct? Now, suppose I say hoya de. Hoya de. Hon o kaimasu. What is the meaning?
Book bought from.
There's a book and a bookshop.
I will
There is a book
Buy
and a
the-
bookshop.
Buy from.
buy. Cow is to buy, no?
Oh, yes.
Cow, I gave you the verb. I'm using only things which I have told you. Cow is to buy. So, kaimas means I will buy. I will buy what? Book.
I buy books in the bookshop.
No, book. So, honya de, hon o kaimas. Now you will ask me, what is this o? This is again another particle, important particle. For what reason? The direct object. There is an object also. Direct object will get O. Now, how will you find out the direct object? What do I mean by direct object? Simply ask the verb what? Buy. Cow is to buy. Buy what?
Books.
Book. So, book is the direct object of the verb buy. So, the direct object gets O. Okay. Okashi o tabemas means what? Taberu tabemas. What is
I-
taberu?
To eat.
To eat. Tabemas. Okay. Taberu to eat. I will eat. To eat. So tabemas. Okashi o tabemas. Okay. Suppose I say restaurant de. Okashi o tabemas. Means what? What am I meaning by that? When I say that?
I'm eating snacks in the restaurant.
Restaurant, I'm doing something there. So, particle there is for the location where something is done. What is being done here? Here, hoyade ho o kaimasu. Okay, so particle de has got many uses. One, this. O is for the direct object. Simply ask the verb what? Eat, eat what? Buy what? Read what? Like, okay. Now, marks, particle there has got another use. It marks whatever you use. I've given it very simply, okay? I've explained it very simple, in a simple manner. Marks whatever you use to do something. Okay, tell me something that you use to do something. You're doing something.
Writing.
Right?
Right.
What do you
Study.
use? What do you use?
Yes.
Writing. What do you use to write?
Kaku.
You
No.
Dictionary form is
Let that be over. That is okay.
Object you're
But
asking.
what do you use to write?
Pen or pencil?
Pen, pencil. Okay. Tell me some other verb. Whatever you do. You do so many things. Only writing you do. So many things you do, no?
Walking.
I don't
To
want
walk.
English. I don't want Japanese. Tell it in English. What is the verb?
Drink.
To walk.
Walk. Okay.
dance.
Okay. You're saying walk. Some other thing. You tell me. Any
Read.
other verb?
Play football.
Huh?
Play.
Play football.
To play. To
Play.
exercise.
Okay. 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 Tell me some other verb, because you're telling some verbs where objects are not there. Some
Oh.
object should be there. Tell me that.
Sir, read book.
Read. Okay. Okay. Read.
To buy vegetables.
Buy vegetables. So whatever you buy, I buy what? Vegetables. So what is the particle you'll use for vegetables?
O.
Oh. Okay. So here, what is the sound? It's not wo, it is O.
O.
Remember I told you this, no? 3 particles. So as a particle, it is O. As a as particle, it is O. But the kana is O. Okay. Okay. Tell me something you do and you use something to do. To do something, you use something. Tell me.
Using my computer to study or to
To
learn
study. To study, you use a computer. Okay. Okay. Eating. How do you eat? With what?
my hands or spoon.
Hands, spoon. So you use something to do something, no? That will get there. That also gets there. So what you use to do something. Now look, I have given you some. Hasami. Hasami means scissors. I wanted you to learn some new words. Hasami is scissors. There. That is what I use. For what? Kami is what?
Here.
Hair is okay. You can mean paper also. I have not given the kanji, so you don't know. Okay. Oh, kiru means to cut. You can cut your hair also. Yeah. Kiru. Kiru. Now, is it a first group or second group?
second group. Hero.
No, first group.
Sensitive hero makes sense.
Kiru, no. Kiru becomes re. Ru becomes re.
Okay. Got it.
Kiru. Kiri mas. Kiri mas is to cut. Kiru is to cut. Kiri mas. So hasami there. Kami o kiri mas means what? With scissors, what do you do?
Cut the paper.
Cut
the
paper.
paper.
With what? Or cut hair. With what?
Scissors.
Scissor.
Scissors. Hasami there. Kami o kirimasu. So they has got two uses. One, it marks the location where something is done. It marks whatever you use to do something. Okay. Now, particle O marks the direct object of the verb in a sentence. So, how was the grammar in this lesson? Have you written these two sentences down?
Yes, sensei.
Yes, sensei.
So, grammar was okay for this lesson?
Yes, sensei.
I'll tell you what to do now so that you don't forget immediately. What you do is, look here. You have got, it's already past time, but anyway, I need to tell you this. You have an appendix here, no? Remember I told you, you have appendix nouns and other things. Now you see the appendix once again. How it starts. What did I tell you? This verbs are the most important thing in this language. You wouldn't have realized this so far. We have learned so many languages, but we have never been told this, or we have never realized this. We just read things. But remember this, in Japanese, when you read Japanese, when you learn Japanese, think. Verbs are the most important thing. That's why, see, it starts with verbs. The appendix starts with verbs. See. Are you seeing this? Page 166, you're seeing the appendix?
Yes, sensei.
Yes,
Ah.
sensei.
How does it start? It starts with verbs, no?
Yes.
And see, the verbs are all arranged in what? Alphabetical order. Remember I told you, a, I, u, no, a, ka, sorry, a, ka, sa. A, it is I, U, A, O. In ka, it is ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. Sa, it is sa, shi, su, se, so. So, a, ka, sa, ta, na, ha. Okay, now, you don't have to just do the a line alone. What you do is, please, choose five group 1 verbs. Choose 5 group 2 verbs. In your book, in your notebook, conjugate them. Like how I told you. You see all these are, because it is a listed list of verbs. Here you see them in the dictionary form only. You see the verbs in dictionary form. And locate 5 first group verbs. Locate 5 second group verbs. And conjugate them to their mass form. Start doing it today. Now, how do you find it is group 1 or group 2? I told you how to find. If they end in U, they are group
1.
1. If they end in, because all these are,
Yeru.
this is all dictionary form only. How will you find these verbs in a dictionary? Same way you find it here. Then, if it is a group 2 verb, it is
Yeru.
okay. Then, but it's even more simple. Okay, do that and then check. You see 1, there's a number 1. That is group 1. You see 2, akeru. See, eru is group 2. So choose 5, not just a. Choose 1 in a, another in na, another in sta, like that. So choose 5 group 1 verbs. Choose 5 group 2 verbs. Only group 1 and group 2. And conjugate them. See, please start doing right now. Don't put it off for another day. You won't require so much time and all that. This doesn't take much time. Conjugate them to their mass form. Okay. And you know the meanings. Meanings are given there. So you'll be able to learn new verbs too. Okay. So I'll see you again on Monday, and there we will do lesson 8. You'll see how conjugation works, how the verb forms work. Another thing I'll have to do, you will do even the exercise for lesson 7. We'll review that and then go on to lesson 8. Meanwhile, I hope you'll be ready with your conjugation. Okay. So, mata raishu.
Mataraisu.
Arigato
Arigato sensei.
gozaimashita.
Arigato
Mata raise
gozaimasu.
arigato gozaimasu.
Arigato
Mataraisu.
gozaimasu.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Bye, arigato gozaimasu.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Arigato gozaimasu.